Hey, do you live in Scotland? Would you like to help support sex workers like me? Because right now in Parliament we are facing a bill that has been put forward by a lady called Ash Regan. And what she wants to do is introduce essentially the Nordic model. And that would be really bad. Like, really bad for Scottish sex workers. So I'm hoping that if you're based in Scotland, you can do me this one little favour and email your MSP. Think you can do that? There's a link that you can click on. It'll do everything for you. You just need to write in this little box why you support sex workers' rights. And don't worry, I'm gonna cover some basics with you. Okay? So, what you might want to think about is the slogan, nothing about us without us. So, nothing about us without us. Okay, so the idea that we don't want something decided about sex workers without including sex workers in that conversation. So you could come at it from the angle of the sex workers that I have seen in my life, in social media, online, out canvassing on the street. They all say that they are against the Nordic model. You can talk about the fact that the World Health Organization and Amnesty International have both said that the Nordic model is harmful to sex workers and does not meet its goal of reducing sex work or reducing harm to women and girls. It doesn't get rid of trafficking. It makes it harder for police to find and support victims. You could also talk about the fact that the real issue, the real reason that people get into sex work in the first place isn't being addressed by this bill. You could talk about the fact that it's poverty that is the main cause of people going into sex work, and that this new bill does nothing to address that, and in fact is going to cost the government a ridiculous amount of money. Frankly, I don't think they could afford it if this bill passes. So that's just going to make things worse. If you wanted to talk about that in more depth, there's loads more information on the Scotland for Decrim website. The other thing you can talk about is the fact that the government's current stance that sex work is violence against women and girls comes from a different time, an uneducated time, and it really infantilizes sex workers and it takes away their agency and it doesn't listen to people's real life stories and it doesn't do anything to actually help and support. So you could also mention that the definition of sex work being violence against women and girls is just inaccurate and should be challenged. Yeah, so let's add that in there. If you're not familiar with the shortened version VAWG, VAWG, that is violence against women and girls. So I recognise that this is not going to be the easiest to read, and I recognise that this video is longer than most people will watch on social media because our attention span is non-existent anymore. But if you've made it this far, please help spread the word. Make sure you email your MSP. The vote keeps moving. It was the 5th, now it's the 3rd of February. At one point it was going to be January, at one point it was going to be March. We don't know how long we have left to try and garner more support. So we desperately, desperately need every single person that sees this video, that sees the posts from Scotland from Decrim, that sees us out handing out flyers on the street, to engage with this and to email your MSP. It'll take you 5 minutes most. All you have to do is click the link, head on through, and it'll tell you put in your postcode, your name, your email. It'll give you a box to write your reason for why you support sex workers. You can include these sort of points, or if you've got some thoughts of your own, all the better. And then you just hit send, and that's it. So easy. Make yourself a cup of tea, sit down, email your MSP. Okay? Can you do that for me? Okay. Thank you.